This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Tuesday morning. Tune is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, Sirius XM Channel 158. I don't care. Choose one. We love you for it. It's Gil Alexander. It's Kelly Bidlin.
Hello.
On a phenomenal Tuesday morning, if I may say so.
Yes.
Where we do the show here today, and then it's our MLB Futures Draft.
That's right.
At 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Mark Borchardt will be on the show prior to that. He is participating in the draft. Maybe we'll prod him for strategy and see how
much he'll reveal.
we can have a little mind games with each other.
I feel like Danny and I were both trying to do the hey Mark, we want to talk to you about some baseball, but don't give everything away, But Mark's very excited.
He's
about
very
the
excited.
season return.
He may just vomit it all.
He
out.
really might. Yeah, he really might.
Drew Dinsick will join us. NBA with Drew and tennis. Indian Wells. Tennis's de facto fifth major over there in California in the desert. So Drew, Zach, and I did a Beating the Book podcast on Indian Wells last night, 6 p.m. The draw comes out. They take their time at Indian Wells. 6 p.m. We did the 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We did the podcast. It's out, by the way, on my feed at Beating the Book if you want to listen to that. The numbers, though, there's such a quick turnaround, right? This isn't a slam. It's the fifth slam. It's not one of the four majors, right?
Yep.
And it's bigger than all 500s, maybe bigger than all other 1000s. It's 96 players. So, right, the slams are 128 players. Most other big tournaments are 64. This is 96, and so it starts midweek. It starts tomorrow morning, 24 hours from now. It starts, and so as a result...
And then goes through 2 weekends?
Goes through, yes, to the end of next week. So, 10-day tournament. So as a result, it's a little tricky for us because the window, pardon me, between draw and tournament starting is very small to begin with, and then you have to wait for these books to put out their odds. Literally just now, the first odds came down at MGM. Just now. So I'm going to peruse them. I'll give a pick here coming up on the show. But Drew will have thoughts on that an hour from now because they will be, at least we'll have outrights. I don't know if we'll have quarters yet, but at least we'll have outrights for Drew in addition to NBA. Matty Cox on college hoops. Got a couple questions on college hoops for him. DraftKings did a great job. They have props on teams on the bubble. Mm-hmm. Will they make the big dance? Will they not? So I'll get Matt's thoughts on that in addition to his plays in college hoops tonight. Jake Hahn on the NHL. We'll talk about 100 wins, 100 losses in Major League Baseball, most wins, some cool MLB props as well on the show. And then Paul Carr, Premier League. Don't want to leave Paul out as well. Let's get some soccer in here.
Show.
We'll do it all. Where do we start? Let's start with the NBA Brain Dead Parlay Day.
Dude,
because
Tankapalooza Tuesday, man.
Tankapalooza 2026 in full effect mode. Oh, you brought back the old graphic.
Yeah, we got
the
it.
old font.
Got it back.
So for those who are just tuning into this show for the first time, it occurs to me I should probably reset this. You're probably like, what's with these jabronis doing parlays, right? Like with moneyline parlays. So we did this in 2018, or I did them in 2018, and resisted all urges to do it since because lottery rules and circumstances didn't really lend to it, in my opinion. And I think that played out correctly over the years. 2018, it was the drive for the first pick. 25% of the ping pong balls. It ended up being DeAndre Ayton of the Phoenix Suns, and all kinds of shenanigans happened in 2018, and we were all over it. And this is the year where you got 8 teams tanking, just clearly tanking. And we went through our tiers. We've got them updated every day. Maybe we'll show them later. But we got 8 teams that are in full tank mode. And today, and by the way, maybe you threw in part of this, fading the Wizards last night with the Rockets. Maybe you threw in the Nuggets last night, fading the Jazz. You could have done that. We didn't, just for our bookkeeping purposes. We're 2-0. We just started this. We're over a unit. Tonight, Kelly.
A lot of options.
I got a 6-teamer tonight.
I like it.
I got a 6-teamer tonight. Let's throw up that graphic that you have right there, Danny, if you could. So this is, here's my parlay. There you go. I am taking a 6-teamer that will pay plus 138. And so I'm just saying to the people who are listening, this doesn't happen. We don't usually do this kind of thing, but once every 8 years, apparently we do. And so tonight, It's a Hornets, Magic, Heat, Thunder, T-Wolves, Suns, 6-team brain-dead NBA parlay against tanking teams. And to be specific on who the fade is on, take it from the top, Charlotte taking on Dallas, the Magic taking on the Wizards, the Heat taking on the Nets, the Thunder are on the road versus the Bulls, T-Wolves at home against the Grizzlies, and the Suns on the road against the Kings. Only the Suns and the Thunder are on the road of those 6.
I'm a little scared
of the Suns.
No, I actually was going to go the Thunder. Yeah.
I'm
a little scared of that because we've seen them kind of full punt some of these games recently. They're the only one that you have that you have listed that I did not combine into parlays somehow. So what I did real quick and I get on a lot of these openers, right? So we didn't have lines for some of these games. Yeah. So I did a couple of smaller ones, but every other leg that you have, completely agree with. I did Hornets, Heat, Wolves in a money line parlay, and then I did Hornets and Spurs, but I like the Spurs. I'll talk about them later. I think every leg that you use, though, I completely co-sign. I like tonight.
Yeah.
I think the Suns are getting back Devin Booker tonight. I actually think they're a pretty good leg.
We did a little weird here on the thing, but the favorites are the ones we're playing on the money line, obviously, in each case there. So Hornets, Magic, Heat, all at home, as are the T-Wolves. I am not playing the Pelicans, Lakers.
Yeah, I would not play that one either. I wanted to include all the big favorites on here, but yeah.
Pelicans have no incentive to tank. They convey their pick to the Atlanta Hawks, so they're not really part of this. There's the one right there. There it is. Parlay plus 138 for Hornets, Magic, Heat, Thunder, T-Wolves, Suns. Have at it, people.
Yeah, I think there's a chance.
By the way, who's responsible for finding the font from 2018?
I have no idea.
Shout out to that individual.
I absolutely have no idea.
Shout out to that individual.
All I did was request that we get a look back for this, and I did not know that they found the original look. So
was it Michelle? Was it DJ Machi? Why don't we ever give her credit? When we're going through the crew, why don't we ever give her credit?
Well, she's not usually here during the showtime, but I gave her credit yesterday.
Okay, I'm just curious.
when she was here.
Just don't want to leave her out.
Credit.
Try to be inclusive.
I don't know. Her and Ryan, we got a great graphics team. They all
good job. I read it.
Did there.
Oh, look at you. Did you get to 30?
Yeah, over the weekend.
Charlotte Hornets.
The march to 30 is over.
Win-o-meter. Side note.
Charlotte Hornets.
Adjusted season win total.
That's right. We're there.
They're going to be a winning basketball team when all's said and done.
Winning basketball team. Show me odds against them against the Detroit Pistons in the first round, Kill. Because I'll probably bite.
Ask me how good I'm feeling about my Celtics-Spurs NBA Finals matchup at 125 to 1.
You're feeling pretty damn good,
Oh, I feel spectacular about it.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty damn good. I like the Spurs tonight, too. The ones that didn't... I didn't have lines on yet last night when I was betting. The Magic line wasn't up yet, and the Suns line wasn't up yet. So I will get at least one more combination of some of these tanking teams in, too.
Just going to let me speak, first of all. I'm going to try to throw in all my bets here in between guests today.
Okay.
World Baseball Classic begins tomorrow. Tomorrow? Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so, I believe this is the 6th World Baseball Classic. Don't hold me to that. I believe that's the case. Japan has won this 3 times. United States has won it once. Dominican Republic won it once. I believe that was the one in San Francisco in the rain that I attended when the DR won it.
U.S. won last time?
Japan won it last time. Japan won because I remember Shohei and all those guys going crazy. Japan beat us. Yeah. Japan's won it 3 times. The interesting thing about Japan is that this might be the 6th or 7th World Baseball Classic. They don't get out of the group the other times. They win it or they don't get out of the group kind of thing with Japan. And Japan is in Pool C this year. It's 4 pools, 5 teams each, 20 teams total. The format is, and the top 2 teams get out of the pools. So you end up with 8 teams, then it's a single elimination quarterfinals, and you go bracket from there.
This will be the 6th one?
Yes.
Japan 2023, USA 2017, Dominican Republic 2013, and then Japan 2009 and 2006.
So exactly what I said.
Yep, just confirm.
Yeah. Oh. So Japan, as I said, in the 2 years they didn't win, they didn't get out of their pool. So this year, again, 4 pools, 5 teams each, top 2 teams get through, then you have a single elimination quarterfinals. Japan is in Pool C with South Korea, Chinese Taipei, Australia, and Czechia. Now, Japan 3 years ago when they beat us in the finals, it was Shohei, it was Roki Sasaki, it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, it was Yu Darvish, Shota Imanaga. All those guys were pitching. Ohtani's only going to hit in this one, and Sasaki, Darvish, and Imanaga are not participating. So instead, you get the likes of a Yusei Kikuchi type starter this year, right?
One of my favorites.
In addition to Yamamoto, right? So, but it's definitely a downgrade in terms of Team Japan this year. On the other hand, then there's South Korea, 8-1. And South Korea doesn't have a very good pitching staff either, I must say that. But in their lineup, Jung-Hoo Lee of the San Francisco Giants, great player. Hae-Sung Kim, you may know of the Dodgers. Jahmai Jones of the Tigers. Shea Whitcomb, who hit 25 homers, stole 16 bases in AAA for the Astros last year. And then really from the KBO, if you ever follow Korean baseball, Do-Young Kim, 38 homers, 40 stolen bases, MVP in 2024 in the Korean League. And Hyun-Min Ahn, 22 homers, 334 average in the KBO in 2025, walking more than he struck out. It is a loaded lineup for South Korea. And so, Kelly Bidley, I got South Korea at plus 850 to win Pool C.
Nice.
That is my one and only World Baseball Classic bet.
I like it, man. What, how many major leaguers do you think Czechia is rolling out there?
I'm going to say, you can't really, they do weird things with heritage.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. We see this all the time
Team
now.
Israel is loaded with American minor league players, right? So, I don't know.
But yeah, good on you, Czechia, for being involved in every sporting event internationally we've talked about seemingly over the past year.
South Korea plus 850, shop around 8-1 at DraftKings right now. That's my one and only World Baseball Classic play. Pool C. Boy, it's going to be, there's American team is stacked, DR stacked. Love this tournament, by the way. Love it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Coming back with some baseball, football, and more. Numbers game right here at VSiN.
There is no other college basketball betting analyst quite like it. His passion is unparalleled. He handicaps every game, every day, all season long. Sleep is not an option for him. He stays fresh by running 12 miles a day, every day, while doing his podcast and answering your tweets. He is Greg Hoops Peterson.
Tame the madness of March by catching Greg Peterson on VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Tuesday's edition of Money Moves is going to be a good one. We've got Jonathan Davis checking in, our VSiN NHL expert. He and Stormy will make up, and then they'll give us the best bets on the ice in the NHL for the day. Our Play Ball series continues. The Cincinnati Reds, everybody's darling, will be front and center. We'll give you a season preview of what Cincinnati has in store, plus deep cards in the NBA and in college basketball. Why wait? Check out Money Moves, 11-1 Pacific, 2-4 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Want to bet smarter? Start with Smarter Insights. Right now, you can check out our conference tournament hub. All tournament previews will be posted there. Greg Peterson's college basketball best bets and the MLB guide. And later today, you can check out Zach Cohen's NBA Bix, also his picks, in addition to his Bix. Jonathan Davis' NHL Best Bets, Wes Reynolds' Arnold Palmer Invitational Preview. And right now, you can get VSiN Pro access through May 1st for just $29.99 with our Hoops Mania special. Sign up today at vsin.com/subscribe. Should I Ron Burgundy my way through some tweets, Kelly? See what happens here?
Yeah, man.
Brian Schaefer, 31. Czech in the World Baseball Classic. Talk about Czechia in the World Baseball Classic have guys that have 9 to 5 jobs. Their best player is a firefighter, he says. You can't set the run line high enough. So there's your answer.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. Rick Ollier, going back to yesterday, says, Rick Ollier, hey guys, might I suggest adding a 7th leg to the Brain Dead parlay? Luther Vandross to make the haul is looking like a tasty little treat, right? Also, I loved him as a chef in South Park. That was him, right? No, that was Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What are you doing? Come on. Dan Groeschel.
Good job with the South Park knowledge, Gil.
You're
Thought I was a South Park guy. Way to go.
I was an old school South Park. After the first year or two, I didn't like it.
You just went up a couple points in the cruise book, I think, back there.
Darnell's
Darnell's like,
boy, that's what it took to get the cruise respect. Dan Groeschel, huge thank you to FanDuel for gifting me a boost, bumping our 16 Brain Dead to plus 182.
Yes.
That's how you play it. Yo, Worthy 311. Hey, the parlay you posted is plus 139 at Hard Rock, Florida. Love the show. Both you and Kelly are awesome. Help me get through NBA handicapping. Thank you, Yo Worthy.
Yeah,
311.
thank you. I do think that's important though, Gilworthy, to make sure, like if you're like me, you got an odd screen pulled up with 9 different books and I'm looking at different money lines. That's great. Throw it all out the window though if one shop is offering you a boost on a parlay stuff because you get a better number there.
I love this.
Good way to use those.
Good way to use it. I love this tweet from the great Swami Gator, who says, just an FYI, Gil Kelly, most novice gamblers like me and the like smile with great joy when you go Tankapalooza like us with these ridiculous parlays. It's awesome. Well, this is the thing that I've always talked about on the show is if you listen long enough, you kind of get it. Been doing this for a while. But we're not too cool for school, right? If we see an opportunity, we're not going to not do it because we're worried some sharp is going to think we should have our card taken away either. So that's not kind of how we roll on this show.
I also think it's
also we don't do it every year. I do it once every 8 years.
Right. That. But even with Kalshi around now too, right? It's just me and you have talked about this with so many other bets where it's not about betting a ton to win, or win a unit. It's just with a lot of these, it's just kind of bankroll building, and you could treat that this way too. I know that's not the way you're treating it, but if you want to throw together 3-4 of these teams, just pick up some pennies on the dollar. It's nothing wrong with that either.
Man, trying to get a bet in while we're talking, if you know what I mean.
I know that first break is way too short. I know. I still haven't finished my last NBA bet of the night either.
Okay, there was a controversy also this weekend. Did you follow this? Jonathan Sears tweeting about this. He goes, yo, boys, are you following this Khamenei settlement debacle with Kalshi? They changed the rules the day before the Iran strike and are now citing a death carve-out. How else would he have been considered out if he wasn't assassinated? I wasn't betting on him resigning. Okay, so Jonathan, I wasn't following this market, so I'm unclear because when I'm reading what people are saying, you're saying they changed the rule the day before. I'm reading other people saying the rule was always there. So what we're talking about is the death of the Ayatollah in Iran, the assassination of the Ayatollah in Iran. Kalshi had a market about, what was it, for him no longer being in office, whatever the wording was. And so people who bet in that market, they did not, when he was killed, they did not get a payout because Kalshi claiming in the event of his assassination, it reverts back to the previous odds.
He'd still be in office or something?
So
I have no idea.
It really does, for me, it depends on how long was that rule out there. Because some people are saying it was always out there. So I'm not sure if the outrage is justified or not on this. But it is let's put it this way. Here's how I would say it. It does call into question, should we be having markets like this to begin with?
Sure.
And the reason, by the way, that Kalshi would have wording like that is because you don't want to get in a world where you could have, just going crazy here, right? That you could just have someone who has a bet on something like this incentivized regardless of how evil a human being is, right? Generally speaking, we shouldn't have markets where people are incentivized to see the death of someone else. We just shouldn't as a principle. So I'm just saying it's a mess for sure, but I'm not sure how long they had that up there, is all I'm saying, Jonathan. But thank you for bringing it up, because I do think the whole thing's a mess. I think we could all agree on that. That's for sure. All right, you ready to do a little country clubbing?
Yeah, man.
You're going to have to start with the golf, because I want some time. Go!
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Oh, yeah.
Too early for the glow sticks back there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with glow sticks, man. All right, I got it in.
Oh, did you?
I did.
All right.
I did.
Well, I want to give you the floor. You want to start with tennis? I got plenty of time tomorrow to go through golf, and we got long shots today.
Okay, it's got long shots. Later
long
on.
shots.
All right, so real quick then. We'll okay, again, just setting it up. Because this is the fifth slam, there's 96 players. There's not 100. It's not 128. There's not 64, and so it's a 10-day tournament. It's really weird. It's the first part of the Sunshine Double. Sunshine Double in tennis is Indian Wells and Palm Springs, followed by the Miami Open. The Miami Open used to be tennis's fifth major when it was in glorious, lovely Key Biscayne. How they messed that up, I have no idea. I actually do know the details of how they messed it up. It's a whole long story about a family in Miami that controls the land. It's a whole thing. Can you imagine this family controlled this land, and in part of selling it to the city, they had say in how the city could use it? This one family for generations.
Incredible.
Anyway, it's in a parking lot now outside of Hard Rock Stadium. In the finals, they throw it, but anyway, I was stray.
It's so silly.
It's so stupid. You can hear like cars on the highway behind.
And like just everything they do at that stadium. Welcome to Miami, sorta.
But back to Indian Wells. So again, the problem is, and Zach, Drew, and I were talking about this, is even worth doing the podcast is up, by the way, if you want to listen to our thoughts. Very detailed. Drew will be on a little later, too, on the show. But it's a 36-hour window between draw and tournament, and then the odds take a long time by these books to come out. So literally, as I'm walking in this morning, BetMGM was the first to put it out. DraftKings now has odds on Indian Wells as well. They do not have quarters yet. Maybe by the time Drew gets on, we'll have quarters. But I have made a bet on the women's side, and it will be of no surprise to anybody, and I promise you I didn't go in thinking I was going to make this bet. But the great Iga Swiatek is plus 650 to win it all at BetMGM. Banger! Just made it.
That was like same price as the Australian Open, right?
Here, no. Wimbledon was 9-1. She was shorter at the Australian Open, I think.
This past time around?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus 650. Iga has won this tournament twice. It is a hard court, but it is the slowest of all hard courts. And I don't know if you know this about Iga. She's probably the best athlete, along with Coco, on tour. She gets to everything. Defending champion, by the way, is Mira Andreeva. Iga has a quarter that includes Andreeva as well. Let me get to the quarters itself. Andreeva is in there. Elina Svitolina is in there, but they are on the other side of her quarter. To me, Iga at plus 650, she's like the third shot here.
Yeah.
Behind both Aryna Sabalenka and Elena Rybakina. That's the bet, is Iga plus 650 to me.
And if you have, if you're in a DraftKings market, she is 7-1 there.
7-1. You could even better than me.
Yeah, outright market for the women: Sabalenka plus 240, Rybakina plus 550, Swiatek 7-1, Coco Gauff 12-1, Jessica Pegula 12-1, Amanda Nisabova 15-1, Andreeva and Muchova 16-1. Everybody else 25-1.
Jessie Pegula is also great value, 12-1. She's in Q3. I mean, as much as I love Iga, we've probably bet Pegula maybe just as much, if not more, over the years.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you've been firing on her a fair amount here recently. Yeah. On the men's side?
I just feel like this is Iga's service. She's won it 2 times.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, slower hard court, right? That checks out for her game. On the men's side, Gil over at DraftKings, Alcaraz and Sinner both plus 150. Drop down to Djokovic at 13-1, Medvedev 22-1, Zverev 22-1, Shelton 28-1, everybody else 35-1 or longer.
We tried, talking ourselves into somebody else. It's just you can't. It's Alcaraz and Sinner. Draper is the defending champion. Beat Holger Rune in the finals last year.
What the hell happened? Did we have the bees here last year?
No, that was
why did I just think of that?
The bees.
Remember, like the summer of bees?
The summer of bees. Yeah,
it's like we had the bee guy.
Remember that Alcaraz fighting the bees on the court?
Buddhist man did a lot of graphics work that year.
He did.
For
Thank
bees.
you, Buddhist. No, that's correctly priced. They both should be plus 150, and and I think Alcaraz wins it in the end.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you. I was gonna force you to pick one.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to bring up this prop. DraftKings, great props up for already. They're firing stuff up to win both Indian Wells and Miami. Sinner or Alcaraz, you could grab at 4-1.
Either of them.
Yeah, separately listed.
I would say Alcaraz at 4-1 isn't the worst bet in the world.
Yeah, okay, kind of like that.
The women's side is hard though because completely different surfaces. Iga won the Sunshine Double, but that was at the peak of her powers. I don't think you could bet a woman here to win both.
Sabalenka 8-1, Rybakina 22-1, Iga 22-1.
Yeah, it's tempting. Oh, it's tempting, all right.
I was going to see if I could hang on that 20 if I could get your eyes to
By the way,
more.
Sabalenka's numbers are great. I just have a feeling about her in this tournament. I don't know if she gets out of her quarter.
Okay.
When we have quarter prices, we'll update those as well.
Yes. Whenever that happens.
Jake Hahn, hockey, next. Numbers game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Get ready to win a larger-than-life World Soccer Championship experience only at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. One lucky winner scores a two-night stay at Circa, a VIP cabana for the games at Stadium Swim, and $500 in credit, plus $250 in food and beverage. Arrive in style with limo transportation. Baller, shot caller. Celebrate with cocktails at Legacy Club. I believe that's the shot caller part. Enter now and kick off the World Soccer Championship. Circa Resort Casino. For giveaway details, visit circalasvegas.com. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin. Let me explain, folks, what a yeoman's effort Kelly Bidlin puts in every morning. You did Hardwood Handicappers just before this show?
Yes.
So roughly what time a.m. are we talking?
I was here at 6. We fire up the recording at 6:10.
6:10.
Pacific.
Doesn't have a chance to go relieve himself. Numbers game comes on. One segment gone, two segments gone. Kelly sprints out of here like Usain Bolt.
Oh, I had to go, man.
Back in here.
You're like, I thought I had you.
Right.
You had an emergency. I almost had an emergency.
I thought you had trouble, but no, you just been cooped up.
And 20-inch blades on the Impala, Gil.
What? Oh, what's that from?
Baller shot collar.
Baller shot collar. 20-inch.
I thought it was helping out.
Thank you,
Kelly. I got to make it up with Stringfellow. So
I was surprised it came out of you.
You're scoring South Park points. I got to score some points here today.
Nicely done. Jake Hahn joins us from north of the border, Toronto, Canada. Talk some hockey with us. You can follow him on Twitter at jhahn4. That's JHAHN, the number 4. He, of course, so much. Co-host on The Point, the fantasy hockey show on SiriusXM NHL. Co-host NHL Fantasy on Ice podcast at NHL Fantasy. Joining us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing great, guys. The weather's starting to turn the corner here in Toronto. I can happily say it looks like we got a warm week coming up next week. So we're almost through it here. Spring training's on TV. And look, you guys know this, March, April, just a great months to be a sports fan. March Madness, college basketball coming up here. I know, Kelly, you're going to be fired up for the Masters next month. We even get the players in a couple of weeks as well. So big golf tournaments on the horizon. And this is probably my favorite part of the sports calendar. I do miss the Winter Olympics, though, Gil. I will say I get a little bit of withdrawals post-Olympics, but the best cure for that is March and April. So I should be okay here.
Agree wholeheartedly. Like it is a great, it's nice to have like a 2-week break after football, but then this is the greatest consolation prize with conference basketball tournaments, March Madness, Indian Wells, Masters coming up.
Yep.
What am I leaving out?
I don't know. I got two Toronto questions for Jake.
Oh, please go.
Hey, Jake, so do we have... when you say turn the corner with weather, what exactly does that mean? Because it's still very early in the schedule. I feel like it's still very cold up there. And then also, daylight savings time in Canada? Yay or nay? I don't know.
Turning the corner for us, at least this winter, is like getting to -5 Celsius. So it's still very, very cold here. But next week I did look, we're looking at like +13, +14 on a couple of days. So that to me is like, get the shorts out. We're good to go.
Okay.
Maybe like open up the golf courses. And yes, we do participate in daylight savings time. So the clocks, I believe it's this weekend. The clocks will be moving forward an hour. I'm very, very much excited for that, guys. It's the short-term pain for the long-term gain. I like to call it the short-term pain of losing an hour of sleep that night, but very much the long-term gain of getting that extra hour of daylight. So I will be in a better mood when I join you guys next week.
It's almost like they should keep it all year round. Almost, if I was president.
Yes.
Kelly Bidlin, one policy candidate.
Yes.
I vote Kelly.
Yeah. Bidlin for office. All right, let's do this in reverse this time, Jake. Usually I talk to you about hockey stuff and then we save the picks for the end, but I feel like sometimes I rush you. So let's get the picks out of the way first. What do you got tonight?
I'm looking at the Boston Bruins Pittsburgh Penguins game tonight, guys. And look, both of these teams kind of hanging on to playoff spots at the moment. And I like how Pittsburgh's played without Sidney Crosby so far. I have been impressed, but I'm going to take Boston here on home ice. They've just been terrific on home ice all season. I think people are trying to doubt this team and say, can they cling on to a playoff spot? And just a workmanlike effort every night that you're going to get from this Bruins team. I trust where the goaltending's at right now as well. So as much as Pittsburgh has enjoyed life without Sidney Crosby so far, I think at some point there's going to be some bumps in the road, and tonight could be one of those nights at TD Garden where Boston has been so good on home ice. I'm also looking to another team on home ice here, Gil, the Washington Capitals, a team that really has to get a move on if they're going to try to lock down a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to stay stubborn and still believe in this roster, and these are the types of games they're going to have to win. Now, Utah's a solid team. They're a wild card team out in the Western Conference, but I think on home ice, this is a game that I like the Capitals to to step up and win, especially assuming if Logan Thompson's going to get the call between the pipes. And I'll go to a Canadian team here, guys, to round it out in an all-Canadian matchup. The Ottawa Senators on the road in Edmonton at plus money. Ottawa's another team I've got my eye on here. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to make a very strong push at it. I love their defensive metrics right now. They're playing some real solid defensive hockey. The Edmonton Oilers, on the other hand, are not playing solid defensive hockey and keeping the puck out of their net. We know they've got McDavid and Draisaitl and some of those big weapons, but I like the way that Ottawa is playing. They've got some desperation in their game to try to lock down a playoff spot as well. So give me the Senators at plus money. I think this is a team we could try to back and find some pretty good numbers on here down the stretch.
No props today, Jake?
I'm staying out of the prop market for now, although I will say, guys, if you're looking for some games to maybe attack in the point market, I'll bring up Ottawa again and look at some of their players for points, because I just mentioned how leaky the Edmonton Oilers have been defensively lately and really just all season, keeping the puck out of their net. So I'd look to guys like Timmy Stützle, Brady Tkachuk, maybe play them up to 2 points in this game. You could get a really nice price for that. Dylan Cousins, Jake Sanderson as well. I think we could see some goals for Ottawa in this game. And I'll mention Montreal as well. Montreal out in San Jose to face the Sharks. That should be a really exciting hockey game. You get Macklin Celebrini, who wowed a lot of people at the Olympics for Team Canada, and the San Jose Sharks, who we're still trying to chase down a playoff spot. And I love this Montreal Canadiens team. We could get to them in a minute, and they could be a good team to attack for props as well. Guys like Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, maybe play them up to 2 points. I like to look to these games where I feel like a team's going to score 4 or 5 goals and attack their best players for multiple points. I think that's where you get some of the best prices in the prop market.
Well, I think Jake just hinted at an answer to my follow-up question here. Okay, so let's get to the Stanley Cup playoffs. We're still a month away. But, you know, when we talk about other sports, particularly baseball, right? Baseball, with the nature of baseball, we say, well, if this team can get into the postseason with those pitchers, with those starters, with those relievers, they can throw a starter into the bullpen kind of thing. Boy, you don't want to play them if you get into a postseason format. Hockey, I always throw around year after year the stats by Lopez stat, which is in the NBA, historically, over 80% of favorites get through to the next round. A lot of that is because it's weighted to the first round of the NBA playoffs. Favorites manifest at a very, very high rate. In order for hockey to manifest, favorites to manifest at that rate, you wouldn't play a best of 7. You'd have to play a best of 51. That's how random hockey is, right? So if you play best of 7s in hockey, and this follows, right, this tracks, people are like, well, yes, that's why the Stanley Cup playoffs are so wacky by comparison. Anybody, it seems like, can have their run and get through. Who, in your opinion, whether it's by goaltender, whether it's by something else, who, in your opinion, are the team or teams that fit that bill of, oh boy, if they get into the playoffs, not the obvious suspects, but some under the radar, you don't want to play this team. They could make a big run.
So I think for hockey, Gil, especially with the way that the playoff format is, I like to look at sides of the bracket where I can find some value, because we chop it up basically into 4, March Madness style, because it is March right now. You sort of chop it up into these 4 quadrants, and you think, okay, who has a path that, makes some sense? And I could look at a number, I could look at a 30-1, a 40-1 and say, I at least like them to win the first round. And then, okay, we'll go from there. And then maybe you get into a point where you do get some hedge value with that team. I'd look at both sides in the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic and the Metro. So both teams have a top dog. In the Atlantic, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. In the Metro, it's the Carolina Hurricanes. Someone else is winning around on both sides of those brackets. So if you could find that team, I think for me in the Atlantic, it's the Montreal Canadiens. I just hinted at them. I love what they can do on home ice at the Bell Center. No matter how good Montreal is, they tend to play well in the playoffs when they get in. And this is probably the best version of the Montreal Canadiens we've seen in a long time. Goaltending is a question mark for them, I will say that. And they do need somebody to step up between the pipes. And that's probably why you're getting a relatively decent price on them. So it's Montreal for me in the Atlantic. And I would actually look at the New York Islanders, guys, in the Metropolitan Division as a team that could maybe go on a bit of a sneaky run here. Matt Schaefer on the back end, teenage defenseman, making a lot of noise, up to 20 goals already. It's ridiculous what he's done, the first overall pick from last year. And they have the goalie, Gil. You mentioned goaltending as an X factor. They have Ilya Sorokin between the pipes. So there's going to be some sort of 2-3 matchup in the Metro some combination of Islanders versus Penguins. Maybe the Capitals do get in there, or Columbus as well. One of those teams is going to win and likely face Carolina in the second round. And I think the Islanders could be that sneaky team this year.
Wow. Canadiens 12-1 to win the East. The Islanders 20-1 to win the East. And the West, just based on, you were saying you're looking at the sort of weaker bracket or where there's an opportunity. The West doesn't present that to you, does it?
So where I would go in the West is the Pacific Division, guys. The three best teams all lie in the Central. So one team's going to make it out of there. I can make a case really for all three of them. Dallas is 9 wins in a row right now. Minnesota is a really strong roster. We know how good Colorado is as well. So you could try to figure that one out. It's going to make for some really fun hockey on that side of the bracket. I think you go back to old reliable, maybe the Edmonton Oilers in the Pacific, but keep an eye on the Anaheim Ducks here, guys. Maybe to win that division and put themselves in pretty good position to go on a run.
Jake, always a pleasure. The great thaw out of 2026, may it go quickly for you.
That's right.
I'll be in a better mood next week with longer days and hopefully warmer temperatures, guys. Great talking to you.
You too. Jake Hahn, everybody. Let's talk some college hoops with Matt Cox next.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more, powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Prop Points takes you to the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports with hosts Jeff Erickson and Nick Whalen of RotoWire.
He's the one that's the trendiest. He's the one that's going the earliest of the three, and in some leagues I've seen him go as early as the second round.
The one thing that stood out to me here is, value-wise, I would take a look at Dorian Finney-Smith over 2.5 boards.
They'll help you find the connection between the two and give you expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game. Live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander. Kelly Billin, producer number 9. So much more than a producer. So much more. So much more. We get tweets beating the book. This is from Primetime / Leon Sanders. Cowboys _Cubs1. Yo, hey man. Did Country Club and K. Michael Billin forget to take his ADD meds this AM? The random "did we have the bees last year" comment had me imagining him chasing butterflies around the studio. Watched the McCartney doc over the weekend. It was awesome. Peace, love, and go Cowboys, he said. He always ruins it at the end with go Cowboys. Otherwise, he's great.
Hey, man, the bees were a big topic on this show for like a 4-month span 2 years ago, okay? Yeah. I just can't keep my ears right.
They had to bring out the beekeeper. It was a big
That's
thing.
right. It happened like, remember it happened, what was it, like Padres game or something, too? It was a whole thing for a couple months.
Oh, man.
That beekeeper was famous.
And, of course, you became fascinated with becoming a beekeeper at that point.
Yeah, those jobs fascinate the hell out of me. Like, we saw the one guy in, like, 2 different locations.
If Kelly's never on the air again, just know that he will be a falconer / beekeeper somewhere.
I've really dropped the ball with that.
Well,
like, the falconry, it's here.
I owe you. By the way, David Allison also upset that the formula didn't come out with any. People are stupid about the formula sometimes, right? We got a couple things with the formula. That's real bold. It's not what the formula does. The formula just identifies the team. It's not trying to be bold. Sometimes there are surprises. Sometimes they're not. Talking about the college basketball formula. And this year there's 7 teams in it, and there are no shockers.
Yeah, they're usually going to be pretty good teams.
We're not trying to be bold. I owe you 569 or S69. Would it be possible to hear Mark Borchard's opinion on the MLB? On the World Baseball Classic, he says. Thank you. Much appreciated everything that you, Kelly, and your team do on a daily basis. Thank you, Aya. I asked Mark Borchard before the show. He's going to appear with us here before the baseball draft, the futures draft that we're having here at VSiN at the end of this show. He doesn't have much of an opinion on the World Baseball Classic, but I will add, he didn't dive too deep into it. DMill3219. You're blind. You can't see Egan's best days are the past. I'll thank you ahead of time while I lay a deuce on the goat. That's what he wrote. You know what I responded to him? I spelled "your" with apostrophe. So he would spell better.
Way to get him, grammar police.
Thanks. So what else do you respond to someone like that?
Yeah, no.
6 slams, 23 1,000s. What do you want? 24 years old? You're crazy. Mr. Can't Pick One. This is all in caps, quoting Lil Troy. Want to be abolished, shot collar. 20 blades on the Impala. Shows he's hip to the times. Kelly Billin. And Uncle Bush, what a time to be alive. 1 day until the World Baseball Classic, 8 days until NFL free agency, 14 days until the madness, 23 days until MLB opening day, 37 days until the Masters, 46 days until the NBA and NHL playoffs, and 51 days until the NFL draft. What a time. He's right. Absolutely. And the conference tournament's happening next couple weeks. Speaking of which, let's bring in Matty Cox from 3Man Weave. You can follow him on Twitter at Matty with a Y. _COX. 3Man Weave is 3MW_CBB. Matt joins us courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. Matt, good morning to you, sir.
And good morning to you, fellas. Welcome to March. How we doing?
Welcome to. Thank you for.
Yeah, nobody welcomed me.
Welcome.
Official invite. Yeah, you guys weren't welcome to that. Here's the red carpet rollout for you. So you're welcome. It's my official invitation.
Matt's the gatekeeper. Controls the velvet rope. We're gonna throw. This is courtesy of our buddy Danny here, Danny Higgins. Danny, he found these on DraftKings. I'm just curious. We'll get to the bubble here. This one I just want to do the math on real quick. Will Miami of Ohio, not sure if you're aware of this, man, 29-0. Will they finish the regular season undefeated? 2 games left, 1 tonight at home, where I believe they're 8.5-point favorites tonight. And then on the road at Ohio to close it out Friday night. That's probably where the drama's going to be. That's all they have to do. 2 games to go 31-0. Will, tonight it's hosting Toledo. Friday it's at Ohio. We don't know what the spread is Friday, so I'm going to do the quick math here. But would you bet this at -200? I would not. I don't think.
I just ran the numbers. So implied probability tonight. Yeah. It's not terrible. It's just I have it at like 63% as fair, right? So -200 is basically 67. So yeah, there's just no edge there. I have them at basically the spread at Ohio will be I think around the same as the Toledo. Maybe it's lower.
Yeah.
I think the market's a little higher on Ohio than Ken Pom, who has it as an 8-point spread. So, yeah, I have it like low 60s. It's like closer to true fair here.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bad number. Yes, at -200 is too high.
I think it's a bad number, yeah.
Yeah. If it's, then it really will come down to, obviously, what will the spread be at Ohio? If they're only a 5-point favorite at Ohio. Let's just use that as an example. They should be minus 120. But if you're saying they'll be higher than that, then it creeps up towards, it's still a bad number at minus 200. You should not bet it at minus 200. That's too high.
Go Red Hawks, though.
Yeah, but
this is my college basketball team for the year.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer that will be a thing, but
And the other thing, Gil, their point guard, who I think is supposed to return, Luke Skaljak, he is dicey. So you kind of have to factor that in too. So that probably, maybe it's a % or two toward the no there. If you love Miami, I'm with you, Kelly. I just think you bet them money line tonight. Money line, it's the money line rollover is 99% of the time a better approach, as well. I'm sure we get in some of these conference tournaments with the pricing there. Same thing. If you like Miami, just bet them money line.
Their lack of full strength almost bit them in the you-know-what on Friday night against Western Michigan, that's for sure. That was an escape job for sure. All right, here's the other one that Danny found, which is odds to make the tournament. So this is bubble teams, if you will. Auburn, Cincinnati, Indiana, Ohio State, San Diego State, Santa Clara, SMU, TCU, Texas A&M, VCU, and Virginia. The yes and the no's. Does anything stick out to you there?
I know Auburn's interesting, right? They have the Bruce Pearl two-pronged campaign. You have obviously the son who's the coach, and then his dad who is doing the parroting the anti-Miami worthiness, obviously in favor of his son's team, who is, in my opinion, not deserving at all. But there's actually a little bit of value, I think, on the no here for Auburn. So minus 280 implied probability of around 70, mid 70s or low 70%. I think it's the true odds. I mean, Bart's got them. Bart Torwick's future looking, again, very helpful. Future looking bracketology has them as only an 85% chance to not get in. So I think there's a little bit of value there. I don't know how much play the Pearl, the Bruce Pearl, public trumpeting for his son's going to matter. I'm sure it doesn't. Here's how you'd probably play this, though. Look at the Miami, time this quickly off the Miami game, right? So maybe right after, if Miami were to lose or after Miami wins, I would probably wait to bet no, right after that. Or if Miami gets up big in that game. I don't know what the menu when they take down these odds, but there's some kind of second order gamesmanship you can use here, right? Because every time you have one of those teams like Miami, especially, who's squarely on the bubble as a true mid-major, every game that they win lowers the odds of a lot of these kind of big power conference bubble teams. So if you want to play the game, again, I don't know when the books take these prices down, but I did do that a little bit last season because these are pretty soft. Obviously, you're not going to get 2,000, 3,000, 5, 10 dimes on this, but just some lunch money, I suppose.
Are you suggesting you're not going to be able to get 10 dimes down on this? Wow, that's a bummer. So Auburn, no.
I haven't primed my accounts properly to get 10K on these. So, I should have. It's my fault.
So Auburn, no, minus 280, which you should get.
Let's lightly in there.
Which you should get ahead of Miami winning a game is, I think, what really you need to do right there. Am I misinterpreting that?
Either do it now or, if you can actually get it in game when it's maybe Miami's up big and the probability is kind of shifting more. I don't think. Again, I think they take these down during the game, though. I believe that's kind of standard protocol.
I would think so. Although DraftKings surprises me sometimes with that kind of stuff. Since you bring it up, because I wasn't, let's just do 30 seconds on this. Bruce Pearl stumping for Auburn, obviously. If Miami of Ohio does go undefeated, I've asked this of other people, I haven't asked of you. If they go 31-0, let's say they lose the first game of the MAC tournament. They in?
I think they're in. I think they deserve to be in, but my opinion doesn't matter. It's what's going to actually happen. It will somewhat come down to who they play. So the 8 seed in the tournament would be, because they're going to get the 1 seed, right? So currently the 8 seed, I believe, it's all of those teams are going to be, it's probably a Q3 loss, right? So but even with that, I think their wins above bubble metric is really strong, and that's kind of what you see in some of these breakdowns. And I think someone did an analysis on Twitter where they actually ran a regression of the correlation of wins above bubble to the tournament, the selection kind of pre-process, and I do think that will matter a lot this year. So I think this is one of those, this is going to be a year where there's an epiphany of wow, wins above bubble actually matter. The committee took that seriously. They brought this new metric, and I think it's a good thing. It really does kind of normalize the quality of wins. It takes away the discrete buckets of sorts, and it helps you compare teams who have won consistently versus teams that have just won big games, so to speak. So I do think they get in, even if they lose that game.
I do too. And for me, they got to be in. Otherwise, what are we doing, right? What are we doing?
I agree.
All right, your pick of the day is?
Yeah, I got the Warhawks of Monroe, who have been dreadful, but they're quietly like 17-12 against the spread this season. They're healthier. Their only win in the conference season was actually against this ODU team. ODU did get their best player back last game. I just think this is going to be a closer game than this number. Do not trust ODU to cover it. Should be kind of lower scoring there at Pensacola Bay. I have that tagged as an under arena. Ugly game, new lease on life. I like the Warhawks to cover the 10.5.